All right. Hello, students. Good afternoon. It is exactly 5:35 p.m. on my clock. That means we have to start our lesson for this afternoon/evening. So, hello again, students, no, and welcome back to our class. This is grade 3 to 4 for Technology and Arts and Investigation, and this is Miss Malaya teaching. So, good afternoon, good evening sa lahat. How is everybody? Kumusta kayong lahat? How are you? Hello.
Sila ma'am.
Okay, very good. How was your long
Okey lang
weekend?
ma'am.
Okay, okay lang. Sige, thank you very much for your feedback, no? So, I have here 8 students who are on board, no? So, please tell your other classmates na magsulod na because we only have few more meetings left before we end the term. So, I oblige everybody, no, na musulod na jud kay last na hapit na gid ta mahuman sa atong klase. So, for this afternoon or for this evening, we will have two discussions since we were not able to meet last Monday kasi it was a holiday. No? So, I believe that everybody had a relaxing time. No? So, without further ado, no, let's have our first slide for this presentation. So, we have here, no, a new beginning for this week. So before I start my discussion, I would like to congratulate everybody, no, for finishing your third examinations. No? So I believe that everybody took the exam. Um, if you did not, or if you were not able to take the exam last Friday, so we will have to give you a special examinations, no, this next week, Friday. Kasi that would be your finals, no, 17 and 18, no, March 2022. So, isasabay ko yung inyong third test Friday next week po. Sa katong wala nakatake. So, for now, let's start, no? So we have here the week 8 to 9 learning outcomes kasi tapos na tayo sa week 6 to 7. We were able to tackle everything, no? For from the same in the syllabus, no? So let's move on to the next chapter, no, which is the week 8 to 9. So at the end of the unit, you are expected to firstly, letter A, no, demonstrate deep knowledge of need, no, on emphasizing the role of firefighters during fire suppression and investigations. And letter B, no, you also have um, the expectation, or you are expected, no, to critically analyze the end of training, no, for an arson investigation, no, to become competitive in their future field. Right? Sige. So those were your learning outcomes. So these are some of the definitions of terms that we will ponder. Okay. So let me just read it for everyone. No? We have arson, no? The burning of all kinds of buildings, structures, aircraft, watercraft, crops, forest, land, and personal property. Arson laws has varied as to details throughout the U.S. However, most will contain as the core of corpus delicti, or the body of the crime. Hero type, no? Siya naman yung person, no, is responsible for setting a building on fire, no, and nagpretend siya na nakadiscover siya noon. And it turns out na siya din yung nag-turn on ng alarm, no, to make him look like a hero, no. So, separate fires, no, when two or more fires break out, no, usually it's suspicious, no, it's an arsonistic way of setting fire ng matingala kadaghan kay katag nga kalayo. Intensity, no, gaano ba kalakas ang ibinubuga ng kalayo ng sunog, no, based on the color of the flame, no. Later on, we will going to have, no, and look at the colors of flames and the temperature. So for now, let's have the law on arson. Paano natin malalaman kung arson siya? So again, no, yung arson natin, it's a crime against a person or a property. So usually, no, it's willful, it's malicious, no, nga gisunog na to ang property sa ubang tao. And naatay intent nga pasakitan siya to injure that specific occupant sa kanang nga building as well as ato ang i-fraud ato ang insurer or para makakuha tag insurance no, sa company nga ato ang gi-undergo or kuan ang building, gi-register para makuha ang insurance. Now, it's not just about a building, no? It's also structures, no? Pwede din aircraft, watercraft, no? Airplanes, bangka, ships. Pwede din, no? Crops or kanang mga di ba? As well as forest land, no? And personal properties. Also, it we need to determine the corpus delicti or the body of the crime. No? So, lahat ng mga ebidensya, same as kung mag-iimbestiga tayo ng mga krimen, yun din yung same as arson. Alright? So, we have here, no, the first one, no, kailangan willfully or maliciously, no, na nag-destroy tayo ng building or property. So, dili siya natural nga pagkasunog, dili pod siya accidental. Usually, accidental fires are electrically nga mga fires, related fires, no? Kanang sa saksakanan, no? Usually, dili na siya dapat ingon ana. Dapat, kuan gyud siya, no? Willful, na kay motive, nga sunugon na siya. For number two naman, burning actually occurred. Okay? So, dili pwede nga kanang gamayng daplis lang sa kalayo. Dapat, okay, um, medyo niitom na gid siya. That's scorching. Okay, that's sufficient to be called as arson. Okay? So, the property is of another, no? So, maybe, tag-iya kay laing tao, nung gisunog, sugo ka nga. Sunugo na siya para makuha ang insurance sa company, like what happened to NCCC. Okay? So, that any person who caused the fire to be set is aided. No? And, syempre, kung kinsa ang criminal mind nga nagsubo sa mo nga sunugo na, he's also guilty as arsonistic or as an arsonist as well as katong fire setter na to kinsa ang nagproduce sa sunog. No? So, they are arsonist. No? So, ano ba ang nagpapatunay or nagsasabi na arson yan? Okay? Kinakailangan, no? Dapat na ay sunog jud, burning. And ang ating mga fuel are destroyed or decomposed. Makikita natin yan. Anong nasubraan ni siya ka decomposed nga dili man ni siya wood tanan. It's not made of combustible materials. It is made of cement, no, mga semento, metals, and all. So, meron din tayo ditong willfulness. The act was done purposely and with intention. You are very much dragged by the fact nga nato kay motive and intent, no, to set a fire. Okay, so moving cause that induces the commission of the crime is what we call as motive. So, the driving mechanism. Ang say motibo nimo. Malice, no? It denotes hatred or desire for revenge, no? Manimalos ka, imong sunugon ang imong gitrabahoan ng kumpanya, kay gamay kag sweldo, no? Imong way nga mag-revenge ka, kay gitanggal kanila, gisunog nimo ang kumpanya nga imong gitrabahoan. So, meron din, no? Intent, no? Ano yung inyong purpose or ano yung pinakalalom nga rason bakit nakomit mo yung pagsunog ng building. Okay? Although a motive for arson is not one of the elements of crime, so it is important to determine the motive if it is all possible. For a while, okay, so no, we have here no the development of motive, no. So it will often determine the direction of investigation. Kasi if mayroon tayong motive, may padulungan dyan na atong pag-investigate sa sunog. Okay? So, one of which, sinabi ko sa inyo, si firefighter, pag nakita niya, uy, katag-katag ang kalayo. It could be an indicator nga, maybe it's an arsonistic fire, no, to get the insurance or maybe revenge, and also to conceal crime. Okay? So we have such reasons no bakit 'yun sinusunog ang mga building. So usually lahat ng mga physical evidences in arson no are destroyed or sinisira. And kinakailangan ma-identify natin kung sino yung arsonist or yung the one who set the fire. Alright? So, maybe we can interview some witnesses. Eh, baka men, dun sa witnesses, yun yung arsonist natin, di ba? Nag-atik-atik lang siya nga witness siya. Pero di ay, ang tinuod sa giday ang nagsunog ato. Gihulat lang niya nga, gayo maugdaw ang building udo, gayo maugdaw, uy. Some of the people are like that. No? Nga, hulaton nga maugdaw. Para make sure yun niya nga na human niya yung work as an arsonist. So these are the most common motives of arson, no? A concealment of other crimes, defrauding the insurance company, maybe, no? I-conceal niya ang lawas, patayng lawas, no? Sa katuyang disunog nga balay or building. So we have here the types of insurance fraud, arsons, no? Quick profit. So syempre makakita kag kwarta. Okay? Kay tagano ka insurance, no? Revenge, spite or anger, no? Mental illness and vandalism. So, what is corpus delicti, no? It's the body of the crime. No, dili literal nga lawas gyud. No, but the elements that constitutes the commission of the crime. Makabaluta nga naay crime nga nahitabo because of those evidences kan makita, no? Kung sa investigation pa na siya, sa criminal investigation, it could be the weapon, it could be the blood splatters, it could be the dead body, but usually, ang ginamina to pa sa body of the crime is the crime scene, right? But what if, no, ang some of the corpus delicti in fire or fire investigation, no? When you try to investigate fires, okay? Maybe ang accelerants kay wala gid siya sa lugar but few meters away, nakita ang accelerants like gasoline, kerosene, pwede na yung mga posporo and lighters, no? That's also called as corpus delicti or body of the crime, no? So that's the definitive or the concrete definition of a corpus delicti. So do not be confused nga kung corpus delicti lawas lagi na siya diretso. No, it's all the evidences that constitutes the commission of the crime. Tanan. Okay? So, maybe wala siya sa crime scene, but makita nimo siya sa other scenes. Okay? That's also body of the crime or corpus delicti. Okay? Burning. No? Na ay sunog. Siyempre, by means of complaint na nareklamo, uy, naisunog diri sa may kwan dapit. Okay, siyempre, pag na fireman mag-respond, napalungon or isuppress ang fire, then that's one of which nga pwede ta makaingon that there's a arson or a fire. Okay? So, syempre, if there are burnt parts of the building, may also indicate the location of the fire, the origin of the fire. Okay? So, malalaman natin, okay, for a while. Alright, sorry for that. So, malalaman natin if that fire is arsonistic if matingala ta that the origin of the fire is katag-katag, no? Matingala ta. And also, no, we can tell kasi nga lahi-lahi nga location ang gisugdan sa sunog. Okay? So, we have also here, no, the criminal design, no, that there should be an intent, the motive, no, to be shown when there is fire. So, some of it na makita nato on the area of fire are accelerants that I've been talking about, no, like gasoline, kerosene. No, it can indicate, no, the fire na that it is not accidental. Kasi if normal fire lang siya, natural fire, no, or accidental fire, no, usually gyud wala tay mga accelerants nga appeal din ha. Usually pag accidental, usually mga electrical circuits lang ana. Kung natural fire naman, no, katong example na ko dati, no, sa week 6 o 7 nato nga discussion is all about katong mga magnifying glass or katong glass nga nabilin sa mga um, nagalaag-laag sa forest, no, that could create, no, forest fires. So, we also have here, no, so some of it or some of those occupants of the specific building will try to remove the valuables inside the the burnt building, no? Matingala mo, uy, ano si firefighter pag sulod niya, nganong wala man ni sulod nga mga sofa, nganong wala man ni mga sulod nga mga kagamitan, no? Ang building nga nasunog kay di ay nanigurado sila nga dili maapil og sunog ilang mga kabtangan. Okay? So maybe that's an indicator, no, that that one or that fire is arsonistic. Okay? So, we also have here the basic lines of inquiry or inquiry. So, depende na sa inyong pagbasa. Okay, so points of origin of the fire. So, as I've been talking about, no, from the very beginning, so sinabi ko sa inyo that we can establish, no, the origin of the fire if matingalat akong daghan ang sunog sa usa ka area. So, maybe nag-start ang fire sa likod, tapos nanapod sa left side, sa right side, sa tunga-tunga dapit, no? So, we can try to point the origin of the fire, no? When the firefighters arrive, di ba sabi ko sa inyo that firefighters are the first responders when there are fires, no? So, usually, gina-ask jud na nila ang witnesses na, uy, witnesses ko, asa man dapit nag-una ang kalayo or ang sunog, no? And maybe no ma-interview sila or maghatag sila testimony nila, and what will happen is that they can start studying, no, the fingerprint of fires. So what is the fingerprint of fires? Okay, so this occurs on the free burning stage of the fire, no, and what happens is that natay mga burn patterns nga mabilin, no, when there is fire. Usually, for example, no, kanang suit. Okay? So, if there is a burning candle, then, tahay, kandila ni siya. Okay? Tapos nagasiga-siga na siya dira, kandila. Try to put a bond paper, ana. Tapos katong mga itom nga mabilin din, that's suit. Okay? So, kadto siya, it will leave a pattern, no, same as fire. Siyempre, fire, ang kandila, so, nag-produce man siya og fire. Okay? Same as kung mangita tag burn patterns. Okay? So you can indicate no kung asa atong origin of fires. Okay. So yung mga witnesses natin can be questioned, no? Like his identity, sino siya? Okay? Baka siya yung may-ari ng nasusunog na building, okay? Usually, no, paano nila kita yung sunog, okay? Maybe through smoke lang or maybe nakita niya nga dako na kay ang kalayo, no, so time of observation, no, so usually approximate time lang gid ni siya ang ilahang ginahatag, no. And we also have here gaano kalayo ang kanyang position, no, when the fire started, no. And then we also have here, no, exact location of the blaze, and as well as, no, kung gaano ba kabilis yung spread ng fire. Okay? So, we also have here, no, ano yung kulay ng flame and ano yung kanyang odor, ang kanyang baho. Okay? So, we also have here the size and intensity, kung gaano kalaki. And sino ba yung mga tao na kahinahinala na nakakita or nakita ng mga witnesses doon sa ating area. Okay? So, we have here, no, fire setting mechanisms, no. So, usually makita na to ni siya kanang mga usually posporo, matches, candles, kandila, no, electrical systems, mechanical means, and chemical methods. Okay, that's the end. Thank you very much for the part 1. Okay, so is everybody still with me? Andito ba kayong lahat?
Ma'am.
Okay
Yes,
pa
Yes
ba?
po,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Okay, sige. Am I allowed to proceed to the next presentation? Okay pa ba ang
Go ahead,
lahat?
ma'am.
Alright, thank
Yes,
you very
ma'am.
much. Sige, let's proceed po. Alright, is my presentation visible to everybody? Okay pa ba?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, very good. Thank you for your feedback, students. So, for this one, we're going to discuss no, the week 8 to 9, part 2. And this is the continuation of our discussion last kanina for a while, no. So we have here the motives, no, of those persons, no, kabaluta na sila yung motive to set fire, no, in an arsonistic way. So we have here, no, yung persons who desire to defraud the insurer. Yung sinabi ko sa inyo, gagisunog nila ang company or ang building just to make sure na sila yung makuha ng money. Okay? So, employees nga naay kasuko no sa ah, ilahang company kay siguro gi ano sila gitanggal no or ang wage nila dili exact no and also no yung nagko-conceal ng evidences of crime no and those to set intimidation or mang blackmail ka or mang hadlok-hadlok lang ka so na yung mga yun anak ng mga tao right sige. Okay, eto naman, kanina, with motive. Eto, without motives. Okay, sino-sino naman sila? Yung mga may sakit sa utak, yung pathological farsetters natin, meron din tayong mga pyros or pyromaniacs and psychos. So, sino ba yung mga pyromaniacs? No, may three types tayo niyan. Usually, they are sexually excited by hatching the fire, ma-arouse sila, ganahan kina sila kalayo. And they use fire as the defense, setting fires during a period of enforced sexual abstinence, no? And also uses fire setting as a total sexual substitute to free fire setter from an undesirable sexual habit. Usually, pyromaniacs, they love to see a burning building or fire jud ma-excite sila murag ma-arouse ilang sexual nga feeling when they see fires. Okay? And we also have here, no, in determining motive, no, na atay three major factors nga dapat si arson investigator mag-focus. No? Saan yung point of origin, no? Yung saan nagsimula ang sunog. Meron din tayo ditong modus operandi. Meron din tayong beneficiaries. Okay? So, we have here no types of insurance fraud of arsons. No, ano-ano ba sila? Quick profit, no? So, kanina, sinabi ko na ito kanina, no? Paulit-ulit na lang, no? Just to implicate this on your minds, no? Para mabiling dun sa utok, no? Di maligtan. No? Revenge, spite or anger, pwede din mental illness, at saka vandalism. So, eto naman, profit by the perpetrator other than the insured person, no? The insurance agent wishing business with the insured person, no? And we also have here the business competitors plan to drive others, no? Person seeking job as personal protection, tsaka salvagers and contractors wishing to contract another building. So, for number one, um, yung ating mga tinatawag natin na mga insurance agent, no? They wish na gain na naman ng another trust ng another company to have their insurance or their company being insured. Ipa-insure ilahang company sa ilaha. Okay? And syempre, pag na-insurance, nandiyo na siya bayad. Okay? And as well as, no, some of them try to burn those commercial buildings para mawala ang kompetensya. Kompetensya ng negosyo, no? As well as, syempre, kanang ubang tao, sugo-sugoon mo sunugon tong isa ka building dito. Kasi syempre, nga siya protection sa imuha. No? That's one way of protecting that specific person. As well as ang contractors natin, no? Nagapangandoy na sila nga, syempre, if real estate, no, mga contractors ang needs ana, no, nga mapatukod og building na pod, syempre, that includes money. So, makakwarta sila. Okay? Concealment of crime, no? Usually jud no, nag-hide sila sa crime. Usually gyud patayng lawas or mga ebidensya nga gisunog. No, wala nilang purpose para mag-commit sa arson. Okay? Alright, pyromania, no? Again, no, na-discuss natin kanina. Uncontrollable impulse of a person to burn anything without any motivation. Wala lang, ganahan lang kamunta ng skalayo. No? Abnormal youth, no? Like epileptics, imbeciles, and morons. And we have here hero type, a person responsible sa thing building on fire, no, and pretends to discover it, turn the alarm, or make some rescuers to appear as hero. And we have the drug addicts and alcoholics, and sexual deviates and perverts. We have here no, the development of prime suspects. So how can we development prime suspects? Paano natin mag-pinpoint yung mga suspetsado na mga tao that maybe they are related to the arsonistic crime, no? Or the arson. Okay? So, magkakaroon tayo na dapat ng mga tao na pwedeng makapagturo, and one of which is katong witnesses nato. Okay, nga naa sa area. No, we can develop leads, no, by the clues and traces na nakita natin. At saka, syempre, yung mga evidences, no, sinabi ko sa inyo, do not touch or alter anything unless photographed and documented. So, always yan, no, na SOP, Standard Operating Procedure, jud na siya. At ila siya dapat makalimtan. Okay? So, syempre, testimony ng ating mga witnesses, yung sinabi ko, at saka ni firefighter. So, si firefighter, expert witness natin yan siya, no? Kasi they're very expert in the means of determining kanabitang katong types of flame, nga ni kuan. Sila pa yung mga first responders, no? So, they can also have their testimonies, no? As a part of a testimony in court. Okay? So we have here, no, the techniques used in investigating arson incidents. Search of the fire scene for physical evidence, protection of the scene, mechanics of search, collection and preservation of evidence. So we have here, no, the techniques used in investigation of arson incidents. We have the laboratory aids, background study of policy holders, occupants of the premises, owner of the building, or another person having major interest in the fire. So usually, atong ila-ilahon kinsa ta iya sa building, kinsa ta iya sa occupants of the building. Kay maybe some of them may have the motive nga mag-set og fire, no? Kay makaginansya man sila. So, interview natin yung mga tao na nakadiscover ng fire kasi some of them nagpa-hero-hero, siya na din nag-set sa fire. Some of them, atong gi-interview, basig siya ditong suspect nato. Kinsa ang nag-set sa fire alarm, no? Baka sila yung may kasalanan talaga. And sino yung mga firemen na pumunta doon at saka nag-suppress ng fire, and eyewitnesses. And also we need to survey. No? So telltale signs, no? These signs may be obvious that the first fireman at the fire scene will suspect arson. Pagkadto pa lang ng fireman, uy, arson man jud guro ni Bay, kidagan man kaayo point of origin ng fire, no? Katag-katag ang kalayo, tingala ka. No? So, di ba sabi ko sa inyo that nalang na pattern ng fire. Mudagan na siya, mulamoy na siya, isa lang ka way. Hindi na siya magkatag. Mag-depend ang ang position sa dagan sa fire sa one of which, no, katong wind, no, ang humidity sa area, di ba? Discuss natin yan sa week 4 to 5, I believe, no? So, syempre, pag ingon ni fighter dito, atik pag kay uy nadagan kay nagsugod nga sunog ani nga ay okay, di ba? Burned building, no? So, considerable, no? Considering the size, kung dako kayo ang building niya, matingala ka nga, why did the fire started sa pinakalikod and then apod sa pinakatubangan, yun sa nilakaw ang lupad ang fire, di ba? And usually po, pag concrete or semi-concrete ang building, it's questionable. Kasi semento. Dili man masunog ang semento. It will just crack on a specific temperature. But it will not burn. Okay? Di na masunog. Unless na siya yung mga naka-incorporate ng mga plastic, combustible metals, or wood. No? Plywood ba diha? Or sa nagibutang diha Separate fires, itong sinabi ko sa inyo, no? When two or more fires break out within the building, it's definitely an intention or a motive, no, an indicator that that fire is an arson fire. Okay? Is arson. Color of the smoke, no? Some of the fires will be badly burning. No? Makita na to sa color is aso. So, the observation of the smoke must be made at the start of the fire scene once the fire has consumed a major portion and the value of the smoke is lost because the smoke will not indicate the material used by the arsonist. Okay? So, if white smoke daw ang makita ninyo before the water from the fire hose comes in, okay? And contact with the fire, it indicates humid materials burning. Examples, vegetables. Usually, pag mga gulay-gulay or phosphorus ang masunog, white na siya ang ang ano na ang aso. And then na siya garlic odor, humot siya og ahos. Garlic, di ba? So, biting smoke naman, no, it indicates no lack of air. Usually gyud na siya dagko nga kalayo. And usually, petroleum products or rubber na siya ang nangasunog ana. No? Be careful with this one. No? If black kayo ang smoke, be careful of backdraft. Kasi nga, it's very dangerous. No? Abrupt contact with the heat and the oxygen outside no? Can create backdraft. If reddish brown naman, it indicates nitrocellulose. So we have here, no, the firefighters' first clue to the combustible materials or the clue to the combustibles of the fire. So here are the types of combustibles, no, katong mga masunog, this one. And these are the color of the smoke. So can a student read all of this presentation po? Sino pong gusto magbasa? Any volunteer that who would like to read the presentation? Like, hey, vegetables, compounds, phosphorus, white. Ana lang. Sige. Kasi gusto mag-read? Yes, yes, Janet. Hello, Miss Janet. Are you present? Are you here with us? Sige. Go ahead, Miss Janet. Hello? Andito ba si Miss Janet? Andito ba? Wala? Absent? Okay. Di madungog. What about just Tony Antiola? Hello, andito ba si
Yes, ma'am.
student? Alright, sige student, go ahead please read po the presentation.
Unsa ma'am, putol-putol.
Please read the presentation po.
Ay, okay. Combustibles. High vegetable compounds, phosphorus, benzene, nitro, cellulose, sulfur, nitric and hydrochloric acid, gunpowder yellow, chlorine gas, wood, paper wood, load, load, loadine ma'am, tama ba? Cooking oil, naphtha, lacquer thinner, turpentine, color of smoke, white to gray, yellow to brownish yellow, yellow to brownish, greenish yellow, gray to brown, violet, brown, brownish black, black to brown, then black, black.
Alright, thank you very much for that student. So for this one, um, if mo ni siya ang combustible or fuel or ang masunog, okay, the color of smoke will be indicating or will indicate what combustible material was burning or was being burned, okay, or was burned, okay, no. So you just read this one and familiarize, okay. It's available on your sim. It's available also on a presentation that I will give to you maybe tomorrow, no, for the part 2. So we have here the smoke marks, no? So, naman tayo burn patterns, naman tayo smoke marks. No? Aso. Kung burn patterns, katong sa fire, makita na to around the burnt area. Ang smoke marks, katong aso. Okay? So, yung magaling na investigator no, will try to determine the volume of smoke involved at the fire and the character as a residue deposited on walls or elsewhere. Smoke marks have often been of assistance in determining the possibility of fire having more than one place of origin. So usually, malalaman natin, no, by the burning pattern, no, or the fire pattern, no, ang katong asa padulong ang kalayo because of the burning pattern, the fire pattern. Yung smoke marks naman, malalaman natin as sa dapit padulong ang aso. Okay? So usually, si arson investigator, no, howd na siya ana. So color of flame, sige. I would like to hear from Gerson Pihera. Andito ba si Mr. Gerson?
Yes, ma'am.
Sige, go ahead. Please read the presentation po.
Color of flame. The color of the flame is a good indicator of the intensity of the fire. It is an important factor in determining an incendiarism. A reddish glow indicates heat of about 5,000 degrees Celsius. A real light red about 1,000 degrees Celsius. Red flames indicate presence of petroleum products. Blue flame indicates use of alcohol as acc- accelerant.
All right, thank you very much for that, student. So, also, no, the
Welcome, ma'am.
color, okay, the color of the flame will try to also indicate no, kung gaano kalakas yung ating sunog. No? So, ito yung mga indicators. Okay? So, meron pa tayo niyan, no, the color of the flame, no? It's also another clue, no, to identify, no, and determining the intensity of fire. So, these are the flame colors and the specific temperature. So, pag maabot na siya nga temperature, mao ni ang color nga mo appear. Okay, for example, 1825 degrees Fahrenheit to 995 degrees Celsius, no, it will eliminate a color lemon. No, para siyang lemon na katong yellow. No? So, if 1975 degrees Celsius Fahrenheit no, to 1080 degrees Celsius, no, it will emit a light yellow flame color. So, ito yung indicators natin. Kung maabot og ingon ani ka init ang kalayo nato, ingon ani nga color ang iyahang ga emit ka flame color. Okay? So, that is the end of grade 324 Fire Technology and Arson Investigation. And this is Miss Malaya teaching end of week 8 to 9, part 2. So, that is the end of our lesson, mga ga. Do you have any questions, clarifications, or queries before tayo mag-end by 6:20? Okay pa ba?
Okay po, ma'am.
Okay, so we will stop here, for our discussion. So I would like to remind everybody in line with your final requirements, please try to submit it on time para dili mo ma 7.2 when it comes to grading.
Ay, ma'am, excuse me, ma'am.
Yes, go ahead.
Final requirement, ma'am ba? Individual to, ma'am, nga kuan 2 minute, ma'am.
By
Per
group
video.
po, by group.
Ang group, ma'am, 2 minute ang kuan niya, ma'am.
2 minutes na
Ah,
po. So, short
sige,
video
ma'am.
lang po. So,
Okay, ma'am.
okay po, sige. So,
Ay,
be creative
ano
po.
ba?
Sige, go ahead po.
Kuna, ma'am, no, niya, naman may katong iyang topic. Amo lang tong kuanon. Amo tong i-video nga among opinion ato, ma'am.
Yes, about sa video, no? So, mag-base mo sa inyong i-discuss or i-present sa video about sa atong na-discuss po. Pwede po budget mo mag-research, no? Kumbaga, excuse me, kumbaga mura mo kanang advertisement or kanang pina-TikTok style good nga pwede ra pud mo mag
Ganun.
voice over ano ba so kanang gina ano lang ninyo siya kanang gina-explain no on the video no so para kato yung specific nga topic so duha lang man mo ka groups no so I'll be waiting sa inyong final requirement so okay ba
Okay, ma'am.
okay so
Sige, ma'am.
sige, be creative lang no sa pag-create no since it should be a memorable one no kay syempre tagsara mo magkaabot ani nga subject no kay isa ra dapat mo attend ani nga subject di na dapat balikan nga subject no? Kay it's a very kuan nga subject no kana kumbaga no tama lang siya sa kalisod so I'm hoping that everybody will try to uh, to pass their final requirements on time so that I'll be able to encode it on time para dili kayo ma 7.2 so no congratulations kasi you have come this far no so hapit na gyud ma-end so maybe nala lang tay 3 meetings yata Friday, Monday, tsaka Wednesday next week, no? Kasi Thursday, Friday, exam yun na yan. Next week, finals. So, short span of time na lang tanin yung magkuyog. So, please make sure no, na magawa na ang final requirement. So, naa naman ko yung Google Drive, no? Nga gibutang sa inyo ang group chat. So, you try to access that one para dito lang ninyo siya i-send. And so that after ng finals, okay na kayong lahat. So, wala na may hunahon. So, to everyone who would like to see their grades and to be able to to personally nga makita jud no. So, I am very available no during asynchronous times kanang way klase. I am here at UM 7 a.m. na nako diri up until 9:30 p.m. So, you can request to see me para matalam sa yung grado because I am very transparent to everyone, no? Kung na mag-ask. I've just encoded your third examinations. No? I've seen na wala na ka-exam sa inyo, ha? And, again, no, katong wala na ka-exam from second at saka third, you will get it on next week, Friday. Okay? Any questions, clarifications before I end the class?
Nan, ma'am.
Okay, sige. Sure na wala questions?
Last no, ma'am.
Sige. Go ahead.
Dude,
Sige.
di ko sure atong ano, tag 2 minutes lang jud ma'am per group.
So pwede lang mo mulapas og gamay lang good. Okay ra man na siya at least dili siya mo lapas jud og mga 3 minutes ana para kuan lang siya ba? Kanang dili kay siya taas jud no. So ang gusto lang nako makita murag overview lang jud siya sa topic na akong ihatag sa inyo ha. Okay?
Thank you, ma'am.
Sige. So pwede ra jud kay mo any video making platform no you can use, you can access. Okay kay na siya sa ako So, if maybe after the finals, no, magsend na mo sa kuha ng mga presentations. If I can upload it, I will try to upload it no, para makita po ang inyong output. No, i-post na ako na siya sa YouTube and sa Facebook para ma-share na to no nga naadjud mo yung final requirements no if it's okay with everyone no para ma-showcase ang inyong talent no kay para ma-feel jud ninyo nga humana jud ko ani nga subject di ba sige questions and clarifications pa po sige na kay mag end na tayo ng klase natin if sige go ahead po questions.
Wala na po, ma'am.
Wala na talaga? Sure na? So, katong mga classmates ninyo nga wala na gasulod, no? Or gasulod, tapos mo, exit lang dayon. Okay? So, try to approach them. Sulod na sila kasi hapit na gid ta mahuman. Alright? If you do not have any questions or clarifications, no? Wala na po tayo klase tomorrow. You will get the presentation for the part 2. And I also have one final nga review quiz for everybody no in line with your finals. So, ansiri to ninyo kay para naamoy mga prior nga knowledge, para naamoy prior nga pwede ma-answer during the final. So, do not take that for granted. Yes, Adrian. So, friend mo ni Mr. Koan, Jasper.
Ma'am, uyab siya sa akong igagaw, ma'am niya. Ana, manggol siya nga. Maestra din mo si Ma'am Malaya. Ako nga, sana ko.
Oo. So, classmate niya na niya dati, elementary, no? Sa elementary ko, sa pilot. So, we're good friends, no? Ay, kalayo po daay niya, no? Nasa Butuan. Ay, nag-apply siya. Nag-TNP daay si Jasper. No? So, nanghimpawid gid siya, o nanghimpalad gid siya
Yes,
pang-apply.
ma'am, nag-20.
No? So, bago na po to siya na-passer, no? Last January lang po. So, congrats to him,
Ma'am.
no? Akong classmate to siya dati. So, send my best regards, no, to
Nauna
him.
lagi ka.
Again?
Nauna lagi ka.
Kay parang na-late yata siya og graduate. Pero sabay rami anak niya og sulod. UM Davao siya
Kamara
o
idara,
UM
ma'am.
Tagum.
Kamara idara.
Kaida da jud mi anak niya.
Sige, ma'am. Thank you.
Alright, sige. If you do not have any questions, no, ipakita na atong mga gwapo o gwapa nga mga mukha sa ating camera. Sige, ipakita ang kagwapo o kagwapa sa akong mga estudyante, no? Kay mingawon ko sa inyo. If you see me around the campus, you try to approach me nga, ma'am, estudyante ko grade 3 to 4. Kaya I do not really remember
Mga
the
libre ka, ma'am.
names. Og naisweldo, okay kayo. Ang code name, ingon pag magsugatan ninyo, ingon ko ninyo ay okay. Di ba? Ana tayo
Yeah.
no? Ana tayo no? Di ba? Sige. Sige na, abot tag camera kay kabalo ko gipanggutom na mo, gipangkapoy na mo. No, kay you had a very long day. Sige. Asa nang uban? Walay na wong? Jurel, Janet, Mark, at saka si Justin.
Computer ang gamit
Sige
mo.
na, ipakita na ang mga kagwapo, kagwapa. Alright. Sige.
Sana akong baby face, ma'am.
Pakita ang baby face. Alright, sige everybody. Show us your handsome and beautiful faces on 3, 2, 1, smile. Alright, thank you very much everybody for attending this evening's class. I hope you've learned something from me. I will see you again on Friday. Goodbye, babush, paalam, and keep safe
Paalam,
everyone.
ma'am.
You can now leave po.
Thank you, ma'am.
Bye,
Bye!
ma'am.
Welcome
Ay,
po.
okay.
Ay okay.
Bye, ma'am.
Bye!